Oh. Very, very short amount, because I don't know how much of it would be bad on copyright. Yes, we are doing a Star Trek review today, but today I had not heard of these ones, so I didn't know there was a battle system for a Star Trek game. This one is specifically the Star Trek customizable card game, Federation Pre-Constructed Starter Deck, The Trouble with Tribbles. This is the symbol for Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and that's the captain from Deep Space Nine. I actually really enjoyed this series. I only watched the whole thing about a year ago, and I was excited and very glad to have watched it. Especially because of the Frankie character. He was awesome. Quark is his name. Anywho, we're gonna go through and look at the back after we get this unwrapped. I was surprised to find it, wrapped up still even. Can't really... Oh, we can read it through the viewfinder for once. This starter deck provides 60 cards for ready play. So this is not only a trading card set, but it's an actual battle system, which is what I'm excited about. There were 2 different types, it says on the back. Here's Lieutenant Cisco, when it's actually... He was pretending to be a lieutenant back in the past, in the Trouble with Tribble episode. And then there is apparently a Klingon starter pack, which would be... I would have been amazed if I had seen that. I would have picked that up immediately, but they only had thousands of Ciscos, which still surprised me. These are a lot older than I was expecting, but I found a bunch of them at a flea market. Oh, I only got one. Ooh! Open this bad boy right up. Look at that. I really like that. It's nice and plain. It has the Deep Space Nine logo. You didn't really need any more than that to know it's Deep Space Nine. Comes with a little booklet. That's the starter deck rule set. I'll have to read this later to see how, it looks quite complicated, but it might have just extra stuff in here. Yeah, who knows. I'll do a jump cut later on in the video to see if it's easy to play or not. Let's go ahead and look at the deck, though. That's what we came here for, is the cards. Has those nice rounded edges, which I like too. Oh, here's Lieutenant Cisco, the officer. See, he has some information about him, if we can get it to zoom in. Focus. It's not gonna focus for you guys. Okay. It says he's posed as 23rd century Starfleet officer. Shows he's a leadership position, an engineer. He has diplomacy, navigation, may report where Captain Kirk is present for free. So there's some sort of mana summoning system, apparently. Don't know much about it. Not yet, at least. His integrity is 7, his cunning is 8, and his strength is an 8. So that must be what they play against. Thomas McClure. Oh, equipment. It is one of the Type 1 phasers. Man, look at that. Look at that card. Carson. Alyssa Ogawa. Menden. More equipment. It's a medical kit. So we have items that apparently can be used in the game. Oh, here's a ship. Ooh, that's a nice one. The USS Nebula. Nebula class ship. A relay. Really? We have a picture of a relay. I'm definitely going to have to find out more about this game. It's obviously you can have the ships fight each other, but it's so strange. Oh, look who it is. Tishanra. Lieutenant Grant. From the old TV series. Tayat? That's cool, because I didn't know her name. A runabout! Yay! If anything, I really like how organized these are. These are really well organized. Sure, they have a small picture, but it shows... interrupt. It shows what the card is, and it has a box for a description, a box for what they can do. I really like this organization. I like the black outline of each card. It makes the pictures pop. Even when it has like that cool blue-black background, or the orange-black, it's all really well done. Everything pops. You can read. Everything's legible. Pictures are really crisp. B.G. Robinson. So many characters. Calloway. Focus, Calloway. Yep, you do what you can. Gibson. Notice I got a lot of the female officers. The USS Galaxy. An event card! QNet. Teehee. Dr. Sailor. The USS Danube, another runabout. Ooh, plasma fire. Oh, here we go. A non-female character who isn't Cisco. Lieutenant Nagata. And here we go. Fleet Admiral, I believe it's Shanti? Oren Ran? He's a civilian. Montgomery Scott. That's a card anybody would want. Scotty. And of course he's an engineer. Where no one has gone before. I believe this is, spoiler alert, I believe this is where Cisco ends up going to meet his family. It's been a little bit. Raxna. He's an interesting character. Science. Starship Constitution. That's a nice ship. Interrupt. Picard. Picard playing in his quarters. Oh, I'm a little shaky today. I apologize, guys. Let's see if I can fix that a little bit. I do like that it's from multiple different series and not just Deep Space Nine. I'm not sure why it would have the Deep Space Nine symbol, but yet be that. Maybe because it's the Lieutenant Cisco deck, but I've only seen, it's only showed on the back Klingons and Lieutenant Cisco, so I don't know, it's interesting. So I got him twice. Jace Michaels, if he can unblur. An objective. Okay, so we have objectives. Assigned mission specialists. A Federation outpost. Really basic description there. Dilemma with Zaldan. Another dilemma. Two-dimensional creatures. Haha, I remember that episode. They didn't know what to do at all. But that's how it usually goes with those. Like, oh no, what do? We have to fix this without killing them. Security precautions with data. Phased matter. There's a lot of dilemma cards. I'm really interested to see how this plays. Nausicaans. Oh, these guys. They always feel like a mix between a tiger and a reptile, and then there's some like dead person. It's just they're always not so great to look at. But they look like hair metal bands at that moment. Microbiotic technology. Ooh. Or no, it says colony. I thought it said technology. I'm terrible. Menthar booby trap. That's another dilemma card. I wonder what if these are just they're event cards. So they must allow something in the game to occur, allowing for something. Let's read one of them. Mail away team member, random selection, runs off with lover to furthest planet where he remained. Can be rescued later. Discard dilemma. Okay, so it is an event card, and it forces somebody to go somewhere else, so they can't be in battle or can't be attacked. So they're event cards that causes things to happen to the characters on the mat, which is that's not bad. Ooh, -5 strength. Late preparation. If you've ever seen these, I actually have not seen much of this First Contact, this movie. I would like to mention too, I'll show it in the next card if I can get it to show up. In the right hand corner it does say which Star Trek series it comes from for each of these. This one's from Star Trek Next Generation. The Hunter games. If you know who the Hunters are, they're not a very nice people. Well, they can be, but they're all about the hunt. All about that hunt. No matter who or what it is. Hazardous duty. Another dilemma card. Dangerous liaisons. Cosmic string fragment. Ooh, it's always so pretty. Another Deep Space Nine. Tula the Lights. Yes. I don't want to give too much away of what they are in case of, spoiler alert for somebody who's watching this. Tula the Way Home. Another Tula, the Abyss. Archer. It's not his name. It's not Commander Archer. It's just an archer. Test mission. This one looks very interesting. It's got stuff on both sides. Test mission, physics, and dexterity greater than 28. Then here it says the same thing but with a 3? I don't know. This one's interesting. Provide aid for a helium ignition project attempting to revitalize dying sun. So, planet cards? Search and rescue. Reignite Dead Star. Investigate coup. Diplomacy mission. Cargo rendezvous. I like that planet. Got a nice moon with it too. And then one last Star Trek Next Generation doorway. And there he is, jumping out of a door to an alternate universe. Well, before I even look at how the card game plays, because I'll have to review it both on the appearance and how the card game is. I love these. I really do. They have great images. They have great organization. They're easy to read if you're not going through a viewfinder that takes a while to focus. Okay. It explains pretty well what each card does. Sure, they have the little logo, but it's really tiny to see, the people that created the card. I love the back. It's just so sleek. I'm giving a 10 out of 10 on appearance, guys. This is beautiful. Can you say complicated? There are different phases for this game. I'm looking at it as I go, because even though I read through it once, I still don't have everything. I didn't even read the whole book. It said to give an hour to learn it. At least an hour. But I get the general gist of it from the first part of it. First, it says to have the first phase. You have 2 decks. You have the seed deck, and you have your main deck. Now you can have a third deck, or it's called a side deck, but you have to have tribbles. Since there are no tribbles in this deck, I'm not worried about it. In the first seed deck, you have doorways, missions, or you have doorway phase, where you have placing doorway cards on the table. This is a doorway card. Okay, the one I showed you, it was the last card we saw. It can nullify revolving doors or space schisms. It allows no one to pass through QNet. Sorry, someone keeps texting me. Then there is a mission phase during the seed phase, or after the doorway phase. And in the mission phase, you start creating mission card lines. And what a mission card is that the ones with the planets, what we saw, there's some other type, but they all have this, either a planet or space symbol in the corner. And these are the missions you're trying to complete, or you're trying to succeed. If you complete a mission, you can put an outpost there, and you get the points that you see. You have points here. That goes towards the main points. In this game, the objective is to get 100 points. When you do, you win. How this becomes tricky, though, is underneath, a player can place dilemma cards. And dilemma cards are events that happen that you have to try to succeed before you can win the mission. So like this one's male's love interest. You have to try to get past this dilemma before you can take the location, take the mission. Then you can place outpost cards on there. I did have an example of an outpost card somewhere, but I do not remember where I put it. And outposts help build locations that you control. Then there are people and ships. The people in the ship help you take the mission and complete the mission. You have equipment that you can equip to yourself in order to increase what you need to complete the mission, like more integrity or more strength. Then you have the objective cards that are, they help you get more information. This one says you may download to one of your outposts 2 different mission specialists that you do not already have in play. So they're I'm going to say they're kind of like spell cards. If you've ever played any other game, they're a type of card that allows you to pull something from the deck. And then there's interrupt, which can happen during any phase. This is in almost every card game, where you can either do this ability while they are going or while you're going. It allows you to interrupt at any time to do this specific ability. In that way, this is a lot like a lot of other card games. We even have event cards, as mentioned before, that allows things to happen. It's like you have a spell card, you have the equip card, you have the interrupt card or the instant card, and then you have the event, which is more like an area of effect card. So it has a lot of similarity to other card games. Like I said, it is very complicated sounding or reading about. I mean, look at this book. Look at it. There's a lot of, but most of this is exceptions, what can happen, how it looks when you lay it out, how many cards you have in your hand. But overall, it's not as bad as one card game in particular. I've tried playing Fullmetal Alchemist. But it's not as simple to first get into like something like Magic the Gathering, which is simple and complicated, but really easy to get into. Probably be much easier to get into this if there was, people that played it. But overall, for a card system, it's not bad. So on a scale of 1 to 5, I'd put it at a 4. I wouldn't put it as amazing and wonderful, but I like the concept. I really do. I just feel like they've added way too many extra types of cards into the mix, which would make it even more complicated than it probably should be. For something like missions and dilemmas, that's perfect, but yeah, it's a little too complicated. But I like it. I like the cards. I like everything about it. So overall, I gave it a good score. Hopefully, other Star Trek fans will see this, and maybe somebody will crawl out the woodworks and say, hey, I'll play you in a game. And that would be cool. That's me signing off.